Welcome back to the Western Front, boys, and we are here at the Battle of St.Vith. That's right, boys. If you haven't been here already, I do recommend you take a look at the first part of this series, the first part of the Battle of St.Vith. We are continuing forward, guys, trying to win this fight. This is pretty much the last chance for the Reich to push the Western Allies back, and maybe, who knows, maybe even get the Western Allies to join us in our fight against the Soviets. Of course, for that to happen, we're going to have a pretty significant victory. And that's why I've already started actually cutting off some units, essentially trapping them here. We're going to be taking these SS infantry units, and we're going to be shutting them down either this turn or next. Now, what I might do is just kind of let them stay there for a bit, make things a bit more difficult for them, and get them to surrender next turn, or get them to try and break out. Another thing we can do while we're here is just bombard that area dramatically to make sure that nothing remains alive there. See, they're pretty significant hits. We only hit about 10 or 12 men, but in a group of about 60, that's pretty good. And as you can see, they have gotten quite weak. We're going to just push forward with the men that can still go ahead and advance. Obviously, in a situation like this, we want to get to St.Vith immediately, guys. We really want to get there quickly before the Americans have time to bring in some support. And when they bring in any sort of supporting infantry, it's going to be the 101st Airborne. They're going to be ready for a fight. So just quite a bit of micromanaging here to get these guys a little bit closer to the front. We've also got guys like the 501st SS that are way ahead of everybody else, and as you can see, not the best choice. We didn't actually take a hit from that bazooka unit, but we know he's there, and I am going to go for an all-out attack behind enemy lines. The reason I went for it is taking that location. If you guys see the crossroads, we would cut off so many different enemy locations. So I'm just going to advance. We're kind of extending the line a bit much maybe, but I think it's worth it. Once we hold this line, of course, advancing closer to St.Vith is going to be quite easy. Even there, we do quite well against the tank. Let's see how our second SS does. Now, we certainly lost men. In fact, if we look at the textual there, we had 220 SS infantry killed. Pretty significant. We did take out a couple tanks, but certainly not worth the men that got killed. Especially on this front, guys, we need to save as many men as possible. In fact, most of our men should be on the eastern front. The ones that are here are kind of lucky. Now, there we go, another chance to potentially overrun this unit. But we could be in a situation like we are up there in the north, where we have to wait a turn or two while they get quite weak before we attack. This is an opportunity here, though, but yeah, I'm definitely going to wait a bit, because we're going to lose a lot of men attacking when we're not really able to do much damage. Here we go. You know what? We'll also go ahead and bombard them. Why not? Try and weaken them with our artillery. So about 60 men killed, including some trucks and a mortar. I'll take it. Not too bad. Let's see if we can break through now. They should be a lot more weakened. Yes, look at that, guys. So now the odds are dramatically increasing in our favor. We'll take that guy away. He's not going to help. Neither is the tank. Actually, the tank might help. Let's go, guys. All-out attack on these Americans. They did hold. They did hold. In fact, they managed to force our Stugs to retreat. So actually a very nice job there by the Americans. They took some serious losses, but so did we, losing 60 Jaegers. So we'll wait till next turn, and hopefully by then they will be completely tired out. Man, we have really pushed along the front. Look at this, boys. So I'm thinking we should kind of help to consolidate here. We're just going to move north with these guys. I don't want to go crazy. A lot of the bridges have also been destroyed here, so we want to also consider dropping some additional bridges, which we can do through the actual cards here. We're not going to do it yet, but it's something to consider. Seems very unlikely that we do well here, so there we go. It looks like just one infantry unit is going to do much better. Let's go for it. Nice. Completely destroyed them, guys. We completely destroyed that group. See, sometimes it's much more effective just to send a single infantry unit forward. In this case, We still have additional units right there. In fact, we've got quite a large stack, and usually that means that there are a lot of units in that area. So I'm going to try to get as many of our men as we can here. We'll even try to get some hits with our artillery. Put those Nebelwerfers to good use. All of that ammunition expended, and we only got 1 kill, so not necessarily worth it, but, you know, the benefit of using artillery is we're not going to be taking any hits back. They're not going to counterfire. What about here? 2-to-1 odds. I'll take it. We need the 164th to be very brave here, but luckily no one really took any hits there, so it wasn't exactly much of a loss. Still got some additional infantry or artillery units. Let's bring them forward, and let's go ahead and fire over here as well. Might as well expend these rounds at that infantry unit. I'm guessing it's an infantry unit. We actually don't know, and we also don't have a number on casualties because he is very far behind the fog of war. And we can't forget, guys, that we've got additional Fallschirmjägers arriving here. I am going to send them to the north, but we should likely be sending them kind of more to the center. This will work for now, though. And I think pretty soon we need to consider bringing in some additional units. That's typically something we can do in this particular campaign. And I believe they're actually going to be Panzer Grenadiers as well. So we're going to have Panzer Grenadiers all over the damn place here. Really wish these guys would give up this turn, but again, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to bleed them of their supplies a little bit, and only then will they actually attack. Of course, we've got our behind-the-lines grief team, and for those of you that are unaware of what this is, if you've watched any movies on Battle of the Bulge, you'll know that a few Germans dressed up as Americans, and they would do these checkpoints. What most people don't know is, you know, in the movies, they always capture the Americans, things like that. But actually, in the war, what they would often do is they would just be getting information. So an American group would drive through, they would radio back to the German lines, let them know where they could expect them, etc. It wasn't always just immediately killing or capturing the first Americans they came across. So that's kind of what we're doing with this grief team now. He's just hanging out there, getting information and cutting off any supplies. So as soon as supply trucks get in, he's like, you know what? You gotta go west to get to the front lines. And all of a sudden they're in Moderskheid and they're not delivering any supplies to the front line. At least that's the way I'm approaching it here, and I hope that's the way that our guys on the ground are approaching it too. So here we go, still pushing forward with quite a few units, and actually we could take a shot here with the Nebelwerfer against those tanks. Let's make that happen. Here we go. We'll also put in some AT fire. Not bad. Just one tank down, but one is better than none, as they say. Now, if you guys have gotten this far in the video, because I always like to see, you know, how far people are, or how long people are actually watching the video, I want you to put in the comments down below Iron Cross, or Cross of Iron, one or the other. It looks like we should be able to destroy that artillery unit. Let's go for it, boys. That's an easy kill there. Retreat, and I'm almost certain that... No, I thought that he was going to be completely destroyed. Doesn't look like it. Nice! We followed up on that attack, despite the odds not looking great, and managed to destroy a couple more of those artillery guns. 155mm howitzers, boys. Not something we want to deal with if we can help it. I don't typically like to do this ranged attack with our mortars, because as you can see, it doesn't typically amount to much. Especially at nighttime, it might be easier to sneak up on the enemy, but it's a lot harder to get decent artillery hits. Piper up there. Actually, Piper needs to support the rest of his units. He's got some guys up here too. We'll have to fix that next turn. It won't affect us too badly this turn, but it's definitely something we want to look at. There we go, guys. 53-1 odds. Breaking right through the enemy and massive panic amongst the American lines. I'm pretty sure we've got this area under our control. Honsfeld is now under German hands. Just want to make sure that our SS commander is close by. So I think he's actually in this stack. Yes, he is. So we're going to pull the SS commander a little farther forward, because most of our men are right there on the front. And Liebstandarte Adolf, you-know-what, is going to be providing supplies to that group there. Another thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to take a look here at the cards, and we're just going to see if we can grab any additional German units. And I think we can't grab the Panzer Grenadiers yet, but we can play this Grief team. One of them is already causing some havoc amongst the enemy. I want to put another one right there. And mission has been launched behind the enemy lines. So we have yet another Grief team right there. Look at that. He's going to be behind the enemy lines there. We've got another one here, so hopefully cutting off supplies pretty dramatically, causing a little bit of panic amongst the allies. All right, let's end that turn. What are you going to do, Americans? I want to see what they're going to do here. Any sort of counterattack? I don't think so, but they might try to break out of these areas where we've got them encircled, and they are holding up a lot of our units just by remaining there. Here we go. So it's going to be morning, guys, just below 0. Still a lot to be done, of course. Let's see if we can break in now and attack the enemy. Actually, before we do that, what I'm going to try to do is bring in some artillery fire. So I'm going to weaken whatever is in that area. We're going to put 4 Nebelwerfers as well as additional fire on it. 143-1. Come on. As you can see there, during the daytime, we can easily spot the target, and it looks like we took out 80 infantry units, 19 trucks. I mean, just a tremendous strike. And now I'm going to move in with the SS. And let's hope that just with a few SS units, they're going to be able to break on through. We'll get some supporting units here as well. I'm even going to send in the 88 crew. That's how desperate I am to take these guys prisoners, and we did great. Only losing an SDKFC and 188, maybe a couple troops, but for the most part, we should be able to just advance. Look at that, man. Look at that. So now we're really open to continue towards Bullingen. This is going to be the next location. It's also a strategic supply location for the enemy. So taking this from them is going to make our advance just that much easier. Keep on pushing. Now, if you see those trucks moving up, these supply locations are basically still being built. So there is a chance that we're not going to be getting the best supply as we advance along the front here. You know, it takes time to actually build up supply, and we are no exception. So we're going to have to wait and see just how long that takes. In the meantime, though, I will be moving forward with all of these other units, just taking position, preparing for the advance. We don't have much going over here in the north, so I want to change that. Send at least a few of these guys up to the north. We're even going to send the Panzer Regiment here, the 1st SS Panzer Regiment. And I think you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to extend that line. We don't necessarily need to attack every turn, as long as we are, you know, building up our forces, getting stronger, and preparing an attack for the upcoming turn. I think this is just fine. Night is also a ways away, so we don't have to worry about night approaching or coming on anytime soon. We can just try and take territory, pretty much. We knew that was going to happen. Again, we'll just continue trying to cut off the roads. Denying the enemy supply is a huge, huge step towards victory. Get those Nebelwerfers. I don't even know what we're facing here, but we better be prepared. I'm even going to fire with AA cannons. Looks like some jeeps, some mortars. We did destroy it, so whatever it was a very weak unit. And there we go, guys. We are across yet another river. And actually, the enemy still has a position here in Schoenberg, but they are technically behind our lines now. I think I will go ahead and attack with all of these units. We don't want this guy just hanging out here. So let's hit him from both sides. We're even going to go in with the old grief team, guys. The guys that survived. 4 members of that team. 3 got killed. 1 is still alive. So we've got 1 guy in American uniform fighting for us. And sure enough, they broke through. Although our guys, I'm not going to lie, they took some nasty casualties attacking that enemy. They put up a pretty good defense. 27 SDKFZs? No, 27. No way, that's possible. I guess it is. We lost 27 SDKFZs. Destroyed 160 trucks, but that's a lot of armored vehicles. Again, they definitely put up a fight. Now, what I expect the enemy to do is destroy those bridges. That'll force us to use a unit card to get across. And I'm almost certain that's what they're going to do. That would be the best move right now. It's really going to force us to have to take a bunch of extra steps. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. Get this guy here, get this guy here. It's another member of the grief team. No, it's not. No, it's not. I do want to attack, but before we do... There we go. Want to make sure we get the best odds possible. That's not looking good. Alright, let's go for it. Again, we're wasting way too much time on this one unit. They held, and that's bad news for us, to say the least. So we might attack them again. We can absolutely get another land-based attack this turn, but I think before that, I am going to bombard that area, hopefully into oblivion. Oh, we killed quite a few, as you can see there. I would say about 20 men or 15 men, something like that. Let's go for the attack. 2-to-1 odds. I'd like to get better odds than that, guys. Well, I guess beggars can't be choosers. Let's go for it. Wow, so they held this turn. They didn't kill a lot of our guys there. For sure, they will not hold next turn. There's no way. But see, that's actually sort of the Allies' goal right now, is to try and force us to take as long as possible to take these locations. So far, they are accomplishing that task. See if we can't break on through here. I think this should be a pretty easy attack. Of course, I had to say that and jinx myself completely, and I wonder why that didn't go so well. Let's take a look. It's not across a river tile, but it could be that these guys are just a bit tired. That could be the issue. I'm going to take another Nebelwerfer shot here, get some additional artillery. Really not doing that much damage over here with the Volksgrenadiers. Boom. Put one right here, and let's take a look at attacking in this area. 2-to-1 odds. Let's just do a recon in force, guys. We could have done a full attack, and we actually would have done quite well. We still got a number of kills there with the recon in force. But I want to be extra careful here because we have a single army, and that's the 62nd Volksgrenadier. They don't really have much in terms of support, so I think we're going to have to take maybe this group over here, bring them towards the front. But all they have over here is just a bunch of artillery units, so we'll see what we can do. We're still going to use these arty units, of course, to try and damage the Americans on the ground. And look at that. That was a beautiful bombardment. But I think, you know, we're just going to need some additional troops to break through this area. Now, over here, where we've got a great advantage, let's go ahead and take our rage out on the artillery. They're down to 3 men. See, we're not even surrounding these guys just because we can immediately get them to fall back. I don't even want to surround them. I just want to keep on moving forward with the rest of these men. In fact, look at that. We can go for another attack. And this is actually with a Panzerjäger Abteilung division. You know, it's not really an infantry group, but they know what to do when there's 6 bazooka men out there. They still got pretty basic and pretty decent infantry training. Not bad, boys. Not bad. Which would have done better against that infantry, that lone allied infantry just hanging out there, but It is what it is. I really think our strongest hope is going to be here in the north, boys. We take Bullingen, we can even go southwest to assist the guys in the center, and there's our goal right there, St.Vith. The center might also get there first, but I'm really worried about this southern edge. It's just not looking particularly strong. Here we go. In fact, I'm going to try. I am falling back just in an effort to destroy any enemies behind our lines, and those guys will be taken prisoner. And this way, next turn, we'll be moving forward without any issue whatsoever, and have a strong line here in the center as well. Our line in the center is very much up and down. Not bad in terms of Piper's location here. I'm going to send additional units over here. And hopefully we can have our Fallschirmjägers attack from the north and also assist this central SS group over here. Well, I think the Allies deserve a chance, don't you? Let's push forward. And again, we're probably going to need to use those cards right here to actually get a bridge across. From what I can tell, they have closed these bridges. They've destroyed them. The problem is, putting the card down now, I'm kind of concerned that they would destroy it again. You know, they're on that side of the bridge. I don't know what they have to do to make that happen. So there's usually a repair bridge. No target? No, so those bridges should be fine. If there's no target, the bridges should still be intact. All right, here we go. Again, at least they're not trying to break out of those pockets, but they are going to try to save their guys. And look at that, they actually did attack our roadblock group. I didn't think they would, because typically they don't actually know that it's an enemy, but it looks like they discovered it is, probably because we moved once or twice. And incredibly, look at that, guys. We killed like 90 of the enemy with only 6 men, excuse me. We actually managed to hold that location. So just imagine an entire battle happening over that particular tile against just basically a group of Germans dressed as American troops. I love that. All right, we got to keep on pushing, of course. Let's go. And any other opportunities we have to get some more men forward, I'm going to take them. Yeah, we might as well go pretty heavy here. We'll just attack with the Panthers. Are those Panthers or are they King Tigers? Let's take a look. I think they're Panthers. Once again, force the enemy to retreat. We'll get into Vereth. Very important location. And they are Tiger 2s, man. These are babies. Push them forward. And let's try and do some damage to this unit. We'll go ahead and hit them with everything we've got. And hopefully completely annihilate them. Sure enough, they have capitulated. We can actually keep the attack going. Remember that rule with the tank here, guys. So I'm going to see if we can hit Baker Company. Yeah, absolutely. They're still quite strong. Let's force them to retreat, and they're actually going to be forced to retreat over by our Grief team. So I think I'll take the Grief team. Might even try to attack with him. No, let's keep him there. Let's not be crazy with him. Let's just keep him where he's most useful, which I think is right there. And we are going to have to attack Murphy across this river. Definitely concerned about this attack, so I think what I'll do is try and soften it up a bit. First, let's see if we can't finally break through this area here. 6-1. Come on, boys. And finally, those Americans capitulated. It's about time. We really need to keep on moving. These guys have just been held back so much by that encirclement. And I think we need to get this guy on a road. He's not really providing much supply off the road, as far as I can tell. So we'll get him on the road, and of course get all of these men moving forward. But as you can see, it's in like an entire 2 or 3 turns just to finish encircling that unit. So sometimes it's best to just ignore the encirclement and continue forward. Like right here, I'm going to move these guys into position to attack. I might not even hit that unit this turn, at least not with these frontal assaulters. Here we go, 5-1. We should be able to break through Jones' group quite easily. They've left just Jones to hold that bridge, and sure enough, we forced a retreat, and we can follow up with an additional attack. It is across a bridge, but I'm confident we can make it through here. Oh, boys, we just got them to capitulate at Schoenberg, and that's the Pioneer Abteilung right there. They are looking great, man. Pioneers, STKFCs all the good stuff, as well as some additional stuff over here on the right side. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see if we can't just get rid of that bazooka unit. Yeah, you saw that right. I'm attacking with artillery as well. Keep attacking. And once again, force them to capitulate. So a lot of surrendered Americans, and that is going to go towards our overall victory point score in this campaign. Or in this battle, rather. It's quite important, and allowing us to get that increased victory point score will lead to, well, victory, period. So we really want to keep that going. Casualties are a huge part of it. Not necessarily for the Americans, but when you're playing as the Germans, remember, we don't have as many men to spare as the Americans do. Let's see. Why is that not able to fire? It's a little strange. Gonna get some artillery support. I hate to fire on a town. Oh, wait, I'm playing as the Germans. No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's just get those guys to fire. That's good enough. And we want to take Bullingen this turn, as well as that supply depot north of Bullingen. So let's go for that. Sure enough, they've got men there. Who else can attack here? Let's send that 1st SS Panzer Regiment. Oh, boys. We're gonna take quite a location this turn. Unfortunately, they actually held. Who would have thought that an AT unit could hold out against tanks? Oh yeah, everybody. And they actually have a pretty good front line there, guys. They don't want us busting through. Sending every able-bodied infantry unit we can send there to continue the attack. Unknown odds. I wouldn't typically do this, but I absolutely will here. Now, we only lost 2 trucks, so it's not a huge loss, but obviously we didn't break through at all. Let's see if these guns can fire. I really hope so. Go right there for that unit. I think that's good enough. Pretty mediocre. I mean, if you're getting any kills with an artillery strike, you know, you should be happy. No, we'll hold off there. Next turn, we will attack there on that front, but for now, I am going to play it cool. In fact, I wonder how AT does against AT. Well, we're about to find out, folks. Not bad. Damn, we took out 7 guns, several trucks. I've got to do that more often. Typically, I reserve the AT only for enemy armor and tanks, but that worked out surprisingly well. And again, the Flakabteilung can typically act as an infantry unit. Let's just see if that'll work. No, it will not work. Yeah, we're going to have to wait there. I guess the 291st is a strong infantry unit. Again, so far, the enemy has not gotten any support from the 101st. Once they come on the field, they're pretty much the elite troops of the enemy, at least in this particular campaign. So right now, we're just dealing with the standard guys during the Battle of the Bulge. And that's why I'm trying to really maximize damage here before things get too crazy. See, we're even going to add in the AA to fire on that infantry, and we practically destroyed that infantry unit, guys. 70 troops down, 4 trucks destroyed, several mortars destroyed. Absolutely wonderful. We have to keep using that supporting fire. Now, over here at Schoenberg, this is where I think it's going to be really tough to break through. I hope I'm wrong. Killed a bunch of tanks, but I fear that most of them are alive, although we forced Murphy to retreat, guys. That's what is important. We need to get across that bridge to make sure they don't destroy it. So I want to send in as many men as we can here, although look at that, an opportunity for an attack. We might not be able to say no to that. Sure enough, I am going to try to attack through, but they held, although we got quite a few kills, but lost 10 SDKFCs in the process. I feel like our SDKFCs are made of butter sometimes, I must say, guys. Well, my friends, I hope you're eager to see some more. Of course, there's still a lot of this battle left to fight. I'm going to zoom out here just so you guys get a visual there of the screen. Of course, our attack commencing in the east. We have to go all the way west, although I'm pretty sure if we can secure St.Vith and surrounding villages, we will do pretty well with a minor victory if we can secure the town of Malmedy, and especially the town of 3 points, and Vilsam, well, we'll do even better than the actual attack over here at St.Vith. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this series, you know what you have to do, and I'll catch you on the next one.